Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. Here's a sample of the halaka that we had on marriage as worship. Enjoy.
So first we're gonna start with definitions, okay? We're gonna start with well, I did have a slide on intention, renew your intention for this class, but that was the class I taught. Like I said, I taught this class in 2019. So let's go over a definition. What is worship? Worship, because the topic is what? Turning your marriage into ibadah, right? Okay. So what is this is without looking at what is ibadah? What is worship? There's no right or wrong because we're just, it's a halakha.
Ibadah is worship.
Yeah, what is worship?
Praying to God.
And
is reading the Qur'an.
And
making dua.
Mm-hmm. What is worship? What is worship?
Remembering Allah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's a lot of things that can fall into worship. So look at the definition. It's a comprehensive term covering everything that Allah loves and is pleased with.
Can you see this?
Yes.
It's covering everything that Allah loves and is pleased with. That's really important.
A little bit, okay, because we can move a little bit.
It means that you don't have to list. You don't have to say, oh, if I do this, it's worship. Everything that you do can be turned into worship.
Is it better?
Yes.
Does that make sense? And yeah, tu as compris?
Oui. Everything that Allah loves. Yeah, that says it all.
And Allah loves is pleased with,
with
whether it's a statement or an action, outwardly or even inside.
Inside.
You know what I'm saying? That is what this when she said remembering Allah, that's inside. You could be here and just remember Allah. Think of Allah, and that's worship. You're actually worshiping. So this is really a beautiful definition because the whole life of a believer can be worship. That's how your marriage can turn into worship. And we'll see how, right? We'll see how. So what is worship? We have the definition, everything that Allah is pleased with. And now what is, here it says submission. It goes into more definition. We can skip that one. Did I put the definition of marriage? Let me see. What is marriage? So that I'm saying it's different than movies and stuff like that because marriage in Islam is a contract. It's actually a contract.
But wouldn't you say that marriage is a contract in anything? Because the fact that people sign and agreeing to be together and everything, isn't that a contract in itself?
That's what I'm saying. In Islam, marriage is a contract. What I'm saying is like they in the Christian, if you look at Christians, like they exchange vows and then they say for better and for worse and things like that, right? So you could, I guess that is a contract, but Islamically, I know that contracts in Islam, they are very, very, very important. Like when you, like a word, Allah says in Surah Ma'idah to fulfill your contract, fulfill your oath. The first ayah of Surah Ma'idah, it starts, oh, you believe, fulfill your covenant, fulfill your oath, your contract. So when you work in any type of contract, when you're at work, when you promise to do something, marriage is a contract. So already there, it means that both husband and wives, they're going to have terms and conditions. And I don't think we come into a marriage thinking that way. You guys agree or no?
Yes.
I don't think we come into it thinking that way.
I don't think we do actually.
No, we just get in like it. I think we just love each other.
Emotions run everything, right? I guess like they just know I love you. And that's it, right? Yeah, it's like emotions are running the thing, right? Like you're not going in, even looking for a spouse, you may not even think properly, So that's why I think this is really good information to have before you even enter a marriage. Right? Because then you enter with full head, like before even a proposal comes, you kind of know what you want. And what you want in a marriage, right?
That's why they recommend a lot marriage counseling before you actually get married.
I especially because I know culturally, if I look at my dad's side, I know my dad is from Dingerai, so I know like culturally, like when they have like jumbugos and things like that, they don't really tell you.
When they have what?
Jumbugo.
Jumbugol.
Jumbo, je l'ai pas bien
No, no,
dit.
It's marriage in our language. Yeah, when they have, yeah.
Je parle pas peu bien,
It's,
donc
it's yeah, marriage, like
it's like a
it's a
ceremony.
ritual, a ceremony.
Oh, ceremony.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cultural ceremony.
Put you like the white, like
And they
not
prepare
white
the
dress, but
bride.
Yeah.
Yes.
They prepare the bride, they wash her, they clothe her, and all of that, but they don't prepare
They
her
don't prepare
for
her.
marriage.
They don't.
Actually,
All they tell her is, this is your new family. You need to respect your
This
husband.
is your husband.
Uh-huh.
He's like your king.
No,
Oh,
he is
yeah.
your small God. He is big.
Yeah, he's your
Yeah.
small God in this
Yeah.
world. Yeah.
say that.
You have to, yeah.
But like
They
the way
did say that.
They do say that.
they don't. Yes. They don't.
Yeah, God like
They do.
Genre tellement tu dois le respecter.
Yeah,
quoi, tellement
exactly.
C'est une
Yeah.
manière.
That's
Okay,
what, you know,
I see, I see.
c'est vrai.
Well,
You know,
actually,
they
that
put
is
it-
that is part of Islam. But when I say they don't prepare the wife, they don't tell her, okay, these are your rights in a marriage.
Yeah. No.
These are his rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are your obligations, and
Mhm.
these are his obligations.
No.
You know?
No.
Only on the men's side.
Yeah.
Toujours.
Yeah.
Et même, on disait même avant là que même si ton mari te tue, tu dois
Yeah. Even
rester
if
là.
you please me, yeah. Oh,
Voilà, c'est ça.
that's it.
Even
Mhm.
if your husband gonna kill you,
Yeah.
you're not gonna come back.
Yeah.
You
They
stay
literally tell you that.
there, you know?
Yeah. They literally tell you that as a bride going. Yeah.
But the people of Dinga, they don't tell you that.
I think different. Dingra is a different
Dinga is
culture.
different.
It's
Dinga will
different.
tell you,
Yeah.
look.
No, it's true. She's right.
we will get our daughter back. They will say that. They
Yeah.
say, if there's something, we will get our daughter back.
But they like to marry.
No, but they will say that. They will say
Yeah,
that. They will
yeah,
say, you
no,
know,
no,
they will not.
different.
It's different because like I said, they
Sure.
will say if it comes to that,
Mhm.
we don't mind getting our daughter back.
Mhm.
They will say that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Even if you want to come back
If
to
you
your
don't
parents,
want, if you don't want her,
you don't come back home.
find someone who wants her.
Give her to someone else.
What?
Don't
Yeah.
bring her back.
so but
They say all that, like
this
that's how much to say that when we grow, we stay.
but see there's
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. But you know, this is making it more close.
It's just a way of telling you, you know, they have
You're
not
gonna come back.
Okay,
But
so-
they always say to us, like, if your husband, like, if you don't want to
Yeah.
live with your husband, you don't come back home. Not
Yeah,
here.
like me, I remember it was may he rest in peace. My dad that spoke to me, and he didn't tell me any of that.
Yeah.
But he mostly reiterated that you need to respect your husband and your husband family.
Yeah.
You know the values you've instilled in you.
Yeah.
Like you need to respect like that. You know. that
Yeah.
was- yeah.
So respect is a big thing. Respect is absolutely a big thing, especially for men. I mean, like just like women like attention, men like respect. It's different way of loving. Like for a man, love is respect. Really, that's his word. That's like if you're able to give him that respect, he will love you because they love to be respected. Allah has given them that ego. The man has an ego, you know, that Allah has given them. So the point is, respect is definitely there. But when you tell someone that you cannot come back, you have to stay no matter what, and what it does, it makes the marriage really. If the marriage doesn't go well, the woman is really she may even do haram. She may go into a lot of things and wrong herself when Islam did not
Yeah.
tell her to do that.
Yeah.
And then she may even, like, I remember the sister that I coached, she was like, you know, there's a hadith, we may even go over it, inshallah, but she was like, I read this hadith about, you know, the women in hellfire, and, you know, they complain about their husband. And I was like, oh, so I suffer in this life, and then I may end up in hellfire too. I was like, no, that's the wrong way of seeing your deen. Like, your Lord doesn't want that for you. Tu vois ce que je veux dire? So already, if you don't know, if that's you saying this is Islam because your culture is telling you this, and you're putting in how is your relationship with your Lord?
Yeah.
You know, you're not gonna even want to really do much because you're like,
a lot of time you confuse Islam and culture.
yeah,
Right?
and you're gonna feel misunderstood. Someone is here. You're gonna feel misunderstood, right?
Parce que nous, on est une 407.
Yeah, you're gonna feel misunderstood, and it's not gonna even has nothing to do with what your Lord has in store for you. Because from the get-go, you have to know that your Lord wants good for you. Right? And the way he set up the marriage, I look at this ayah, and of his sign is that he created for you from yourself mates that you may find tranquility in them. And he placed between you affection and mercy, or love and mercy. Indeed, in that are signs for people who give thought, or people who think, right? That this ayah alone tells you that Allah did not make marriage for women to suffer. You know, like they say when a woman, I remember I was told this too. They said I was too happy, looking too happy, and I should be crying on the day of my wedding. Because that's another culture thing where the woman is like, you should have been crying. I said, crying for what? You know, because, but why crying?
Like, you know, you live in your family, right?
But you're not. That's what I'm saying. The culture wants you to feel like, you know, like you're going into something really painful and
Really scary.
yeah, really scary. You're gonna really suffer. And no matter what, you're gonna stay. That's like no matter what, you stay where you are. And then, you know, and then they focus on marriage being difficult and marriage being, you know. So I think this is something Allah has placed for you where you find tranquility, mercy, love. That's what he made marriage for. Okay, so why marry? So why should we marry?
Why? Parce que c'est ce qui est bon pour la religion.
You need a partner.
Okay, so you need a partner. That's why you marry. You want to be halal, right? You don't want to you don't want to be okay.
Alone,
So definitely guarding your modesty, your private part from committing, zina, right? Okay, so why else should we marry? Have children. What else?
yeah. But the first purpose shouldn't be that though, right? It's not having children, right? The first.
I mean,
No.
it could be part of it because you want to increase the ummah. It could be part of it. So basically, the main reason for marriage is really to guard yourself from doing anything haram, right? It helps you to preserve your modesty. It helps you to have family, a lineage that is clean. Like you don't have to worry about who's the baby daddy and all of these things, right? Like this is it protects lineage in families, right? Another one too is that we're like Allah created us to complete each other, and it completes the hadith says, it's half of faith, half of iman. So marriage should also be what helps you to in your deen. This is why Rasulullah said, the spouse, look for the one who's God-fearing, right? Look for the one who's God-fearing, because it should also help you to worship Allah. And that's another thing that I know personally when I coach sisters, is that many times I hear, he didn't do this, he did this, and then it's between the two. And never I hear, okay, I'm doing this for Allah. Like, it's never like, Allah is not, it's just me and him. You understand?
Yeah, no.
And so
you don't think about
elevating this into an act of worship where you actually thinking whatever I'm doing for him, I'm only here. It's an act of worship. You understand what I'm saying? I get my hasanat from Allah.
Yeah.
If there's something I
By
want,
doing what I'm supposed to do.
yeah. I get my hasanat from Allah. And if I want something, I ask Allah, because he's the one who changes the hearts.
Honestly, that's not the way I was seeing marriage at all. I mean, lately, yes, but that's not something that you think about, that I'm doing that as an act of worship. I'm serving my husband. I'm respecting my husband. No, I think you need to know about it.
Yeah, otherwise it's like me and him.
Yeah.
And if it's me and him, today we're happy, tomorrow it's like, it's just based on your emotions, and you don't. So then the purpose of, that's why we go back to why we get married. So if you want to, I did ask that question actually. I asked some sisters in Gambia, I asked them like, why did you get married? And some of them were saying like, yeah, we just didn't want to do it the wrong way. And I said, well, that's an act of worship, because you could easily just do it the wrong way. So you feared Allah, and that's why you're like, no, I'm going to do it the right way. right? So that becomes an act of worship, inshallah. Any questions so far? Everybody is good so far?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a beautiful hadith. The Prophet ﷺ says there is nothing like marriage for two who love one another. So dating is not it, right? There's nothing like marriage for two who love one another. Okay, so a woman is married for four things: her wealth, her family status, her beauty, and her religion. But he says, so you should marry the religious woman, otherwise you'll be a loser. So the deen comes first. And of course, this is addressing a man, but it also is for us. Like you're looking at a man, you're looking at his bank account. Wealth comes and goes. I don't care if the person is super rich today, he can lose everything tomorrow, right? Even the beauty. I know a sister, her husband was in a fatal car accident. He got disfigured, right? And that affected their marriage. So yeah, it affected their marriage. She's no longer with him. Not because she just stopped loving him, but himself, he became insecure. Himself, he became, he made life difficult. Yeah. And he really made everything, her life was just unbearable, and they had to split and have 3 kids together. So beauty comes and goes, right? Like I said, wealth, family, even your status, your beauty, but your deen, that's the only thing that is going to stay. Because Allah is the constant, right?
So issue I said to add the Kleenex no
Put it on the table. Okay, so do you have any questions so far?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so who can we marry? Basically,
Qu'est-ce que c'est pas la peine yaay? C'est pas la peine. I don't know.
we already
Oh,
No, no, jot ino adda na ino. Jot ino.
allez chauffer les beignets un peu.
we already know that there are 4 things. Do you guys remember what are the 4 things we get married for? Can anybody
That you
list them?
just said?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was
Wealth,
family status,
family status.
religion.
And
And beauty.
And
Okay, and then what did the Rasulullah Sallallahu said to choose?
religion.
Religion. So this is like the main reason why we should get married. Like really, somebody who fears Allah. It doesn't.
And this is the end of this vlog. I pray that you benefited from this, sample of the halakha that we had in Ajax, Ontario, Canada. May Allah accept, make us wonderful spouses that are pleasing to Allah, and may He count us among those who will be receiving the 8 gates of Jannah. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabina Muhammad. I will see you in another video next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.